Okay, this is 10 networks, and I don't think I've charted this one before. I can see, I'm looking for volume and I can't see any because we've got this bad boy right here, so I think we better go zoom in on him before we do anything, because he will be significant. And we'll just go mark the high of that and the low of that, and we'll just see if we're anywhere near there at the moment. Okay, and he's he's above us at the moment, so so that place there will offer us significant resistance going up. But anyway, it has tried to support on there over here and failed. So, but anyway, the obvious thing here is that we are in a downtrend. Maybe if I connect those two pivots there, that was overbought there, and maybe these pivots down here. Might hook it up to that top pivot there. That gives us somewhere to anchor it. Maybe I should. That's not much giving us much different at the moment, but anyway, the point is it's been in a protracted downtrend, and it still looks like we're making lower lows. We haven't made a higher low yet. I'll just after that other big volume bar, if I get rid of that, I'll just mark off where's the other one. Well, there's one right on there, hasn't it? So what have we got further down below us? And look, all these volume bars are above us now. We'll get rid of them. We're looking at relative volume. There was one there where they've started buying a down bar. It's closing on high volume, but they've been buying the bottom of it. Down again still, but the closes are now starting to get starting to compress. Down again, then up, and then we get our 2-bar reversal. So there's definitely buying coming in that area, and that area is sort of above. I'll just mark the highest volume bar in that area just to see. Well, there's a couple, so I might mark a few of them. I'll mark the top of that, or the close of that, and the bottom of it, and maybe the one beside it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's an area of resistance there. The last bullish bar was that one where they bought. Well, they bought, and then and there was no demand. They had no interest in taking that higher at this point because it's gone up on the least volume in 3 bars. So, but it does look like there possibly may have been some buying in there, but I've jumped up on top of that now. It's come down and closed high, so that's quite bullish into this area. It's tried to go up. Most of the body's below the close there, so it looks like they're testing back into that volume. A lot of people like to see testing in volume. Even if it's a bullish bar, if it's on high volume, they'll often bring it back there to test for more, to try and soak up. They're just checking to make sure they got it all on the way up. See, just soak it all up, because they don't want they don't want any short-termers in here selling against them when they want to take the price higher, and that's the idea behind that. Plus they get it cheaper too, I suppose, but really the objective is to gain control of the price. I've taken it up, but they're not really interested in it going higher yet. I've rammed it down again. It's gone past that area, but the volume is high, so up she goes. But look, the volume is quite light going up. See, that's gone up on mobile demand. It doesn't really look like they're interested in higher prices at the moment, even though it is going higher. The volume is slightly increasing, but I'm not convinced that we're at a bottom. Yeah, well, it could be. You never know. It could be, but I'm not really, I wouldn't want to be long yet on that one. I would like to see, again, we're in the middle of a downtrending channel, and the worst place to be trading is in the middle of a channel. You want to be buying on the bottom and selling on the top. And if you're in a downtrend, you know your good trades are selling the top of the channel. You can still buy the bottom of the channel, but your good trades are selling the top of the channel downtrend and buying the bottom of an uptrend. And now we're right in the middle there, so that's the absolute wrong place to be trading, because it can swing around that median, whether it be a middle or a median line. It can swing around there and keep going down. But we're still in a downtrend. We're yet to make a first higher high or higher low, and we've got resistance above us where it's resisted that we need to break out of even before we hit our downtrending top there. So I probably personally wouldn't want to be long just at the moment for the long term. I'm sure there's short-term trades on the intraday there, but it's overall still looking weak. And it's going down, isn't it? So unfortunately, the chart won't tell us where the bottom is. It'll tell us where a bottom has been. It'll tell us where the last bottom was. It will tell us where there's been high activity. So we're looking at these bottoms here for evidence of high activity, and then looking for higher bottoms going up if we're long. It will tell us where the professional money have been particularly interested, and then we're looking very closely at areas where they've been selling in the past and where they've been buying in the past. But yeah, no, I still wouldn't want to be long 10 at the moment. This is AWE All Limited, and I have charted this before, so that makes it easy, doesn't it? This is the weekly chart, so I might just look at that. What did we say? Pitchfork broke and back tested the trigger, so it fails to reach a medium, then breaks the trigger, which is the handle and the last pivot. That's a sell signal on if you're trading using pitchfork rules. It's back tested. And what we have is a weak bar back testing the trigger here. And it's a weak bar because it's an up bar. It's closed off its low, so it's encountered plenty of supply, and then the price is closed lower, and so that makes it a weak bar because it's encountered supply. Now it could be absorbing supply coming from the left, but because it will, because you got trapped buyers in there. But if that was all buying, that up bar was all buying, you'd be it couldn't close on its middle, and it couldn't close lower certainly. But still, we don't do anything on those. We wait and see what happens till it clears it. But we start getting these high volume narrow spreads now, up thrusting. That's giving us a clue now that we're failing. This is a weak bar. Up thrusting. We had an up bar, no demand, even though it's really a down bar, but it's tried to go higher than the high and failed, so no demand. So we're getting these weak bars coming in a row. We get a no demand there, and then as it goes up, and it could be that they're just trying to absorb supply in the bottom here, but if you're trading your pitchfork and you started seeing weak bars on the back test, you probably would have gone short there. But once it broke down from that bar, then you've got your short entry, you've got your no demand bars coming back up into there. You've got your up thrusts, no demands coming in here, then you got further below it coming back into it. You've got your up thrust, you've got the no demand bars, so it's going down. All this volume tells you the pros are in there, but we're unable to bust a new high after this. It would have been gifted the perfect short setup after it retested the trigger a second time. No sign of a bottom yet. Going to the first warning, so which it's done already, broken. What's this line here? That's over. I've got the overall 76.4 fib, which it seems to have bounced off. I'm trying to look for if there's any significant volume over here that it's. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, a really high volume bar right behind us is above us, and they were selling. They were definitely selling that, and just tried to pull up here. Looks like gone up, no demand. They're not interested in higher prices. Volume does kick in there, but look, it's not telling me that it's going to support there anywhere. I mean, you might. It just isn't. Now, what we can do possibly is go. Let's take this trend. There's one trend line there, so they won't buy it until it comes attractive to them again. They're not showing. There's no signs that they're any buying at these. And surely they've got to be really, really cheap, eh? They've been low. They haven't been this low for how long? Years and years and years. But there's no one's buying, and no one's coming in there and buying it. We don't have any really high volume down bar and then bouncing up. There's no, as it comes down, there's nothing telling us anything. That probably go up, and that second warning there of that pitchfork will act as could act as resistance. So yeah, no, look, I wouldn't want to be long that stock at all. And we've also got, I haven't drawn it there. If I extend this line out, the last line I drew there, I probably should really redraw it. So if I take those pivots, but if I take that pivot there, look, it's at a resistance point now at the moment, and it's not. Volume's increased as it's hit it. The volume's still there. It's still up there, so it's trying to get through there. But now you are in a downtrend. I wouldn't want to be holding this long, and there's nothing there that interests me on the long side at all. Now could quite possibly be that's the bottom, but there's nothing there volume-wise to tell me that that's a bottom and that it can't go lower. I don't know a lot about the company, so it's up to you whether you think, oh gee, that they're worth $10 and they're only $1. So if they're worth $10, you want to buy everything you can, don't you, while it's low. But shorter term, there's nothing there that interests me on the long side. I just wouldn't want to. I can't even see any really good. Well, there's possibly good short trades there, but I wouldn't want to be long that stock, because you haven't even made a higher low yet. You need to make a higher low. It started showing a bit of promise going up here, but since then we haven't made a higher low at all. So that's what you got. You want to be breaking out of this downtrending line there, and then get some higher lows, and then see where that takes you. That's going to be a problem, that bar for you. Just put one on the bottom of the bar there at the $1.59, it looks like, or $1.60, and the $1.77 to $1.09, and that range is going to be a problem to get out over that $1.90. You want to get it over the $1.90, but even the $1.60 will resist you. So but anyway, there's not much more I can say about it. This is Newcrest Mining. I've just drawn a uptrending pitchfork on there. So as you can see, we are in a longer term uptrend, and I might just put a couple of, as I can see there, it looks like we might be have a little channel there on the parallels of the pitchfork there, so that looks like one around there, and probably one around there. So there we go, that picks up a couple of pivots. So that gives us this bit of a channel that it's been creating up in. I'll pick out the high volume bars. This is the weekly. I'll pick out the high volume bars there and put in some levels. So we got that one down there at the 35.50 roughly. So we're above that, and then we got this one here, which we've just broken above at the moment. I'll just put one on the close there and on the bottom there. So that's where they've been. It's come to this big surge up. They're distributed at the top of the channel there. Come down, they've bought it again, taken it up, distributed again in that area, and we've been distributing in that area for a while there. So we've got the all-time high there, which we've bounced off a couple of times. So that's probably the only concern now. Is that you're getting up into that area again, and if it's going to pivot, you got a logical pivot there at the median line and the top of that line there. So look, it has been uptrending, but you're coming into that area where it's being sold. So you've got to be careful, I suppose. But you know, let's see. There's our buying bar down the bottom there, where it's a down bar, ultra high volume. Price goes up. So if you're trading that channel, you probably could have gone there. You've got even got your low volume test there, retesting in the bar, and then price going up and slightly more volume. So there was your entry. There was an entry there for the longer term. Again, we get a little, looks like a down bar that closes off its low on top of the channel. Ultra high volume, narrow spread, well, compared to the other bars. And then it's gone up. So you do have some bullish bars there. Let's have a look at the daily. There's a channel there we're in. I'll just have a look here if you can see anything spectacular. That was a nice bag holding bar there. We've had really high volume and a very narrow spread down bar, and it's kicked up from there. And was right on top of that was in an area of high volume before. It doesn't show on there because that's the daily, but if you're having a look at the weekly and looking for an entry, you could have looked at the daily and seen that then that's a real bullish bar. And sometimes you like to see them come back and test that, but it hasn't been doing a lot of retracing on the daily. So I suppose you just have to pick your channel and trade that. There's another one where it's come down ultra high volume. It closed off its low, narrowish or average spread. It has dropped down, but on very light volume, again on top of your channel. So and in an area where you've been buying before. So you like to buy these things on the dips, and it hasn't really dipped a lot. And well, I suppose it has a little bit. But I suppose pick your line and trade that. Look for strong bars, because these are all strong. That's a strong bar. That's a strong bar. That's a very strong bar, the bag holding bar. And you probably find better entries on the intraday, but there you get it. Just have a look at the last view on the daily. It's been going up. Getting some weakness now up here. Where's that coming from? That's an up thrust there on increased volume, so that's not good. So where might they be trying to bring that to? I think they might have been trying to take that back down to retest that last pivot. So they've broken there on volume. It's come through on, had a bit of increased volume to get over there. they may possibly even try and bring it back into this area here, where we've got this high volume bar there. Possibly. Yeah, but that's an up thrust. It's come down. It's come down on decent volume too. It's not certainly found supply. It looks like it's found a bit of support on that pivot, but I suspect they may try and bring it down onto the bar here. I'll just have a look at some repeating speed ranges there. Copy that arrow across. Well, that's sort of completed one, but you do get bigger. You do have some bigger ranges as well. You've got this bigger one here that tends to repeat. So possibly look for really light volume testing back onto that area, but you're getting up close to the distribution area now, and you do have a lower high, so you just got to be careful. You've got the median line of our pitchfork. You've got a cluster of lines up there, so but at the moment it's probably looking okay if it can make a higher low there, especially on really light volume, closing on the high to middle. Really nice narrow bar like one of these, really light volume. You know, that was a little bit of a no demand bar, but really there was no supply. They weren't selling it off. So yeah, well, if there's a channel there, you got to trade it, don't you? But you are coming up towards the top now, and you do have a cluster just above you at $43. Still, that's a couple of dollars above you yet, so we'll just have to see. But and you are in the middle of this channel, which is normally not the best place to be taking your entry. Your good entries are on your bottom there, and shorts on the top, I suppose. You're in the middle at the moment, so you're in the middle of a trend channel. So your good entries, your low risk entries, are on the bottom of your trending channel, and the middle is not really the best place to be doing it on the. I mean, you will find good entries possibly on the intraday, but if there's any really light volume testing on top of this bar there, then it would be tempting to. You do have room to the upside there still before you encounter some resistance. But yeah, no, it's up to you. But there's nothing particularly weak coming in apart from that last up thrust there. But I think that's going to come back and retest, and they might be happy with that retest there. But it's found volume there, so they may try and break it down further to that other high volume area, just to be sure it'll hold, assuming they're bullish. And yeah, so no, it's looking okay. Nothing outstanding because it's in the middle of your channel. It'd probably be more exciting if you saw some action down towards the bottom of your channel. So, but you're in the middle. It's not showing any sign of you've got room to move, a bit of headroom to move before you hit resistance there again. And you have broken a higher high. So we're looking for a lower low, a higher low now, and then you've got a bit of room before you hit those clusters. Anyway, that's NCM, and this is WPL, the weekly chart. I'll just have a look. What can I do here? I think I'll just put in a pitchfork there. Did this last week, but I do that just to show it's broken through that uptrending pitchfork. It's failed to reach the median, and usually when it does that, it does have a reaction back. I'll just draw the trigger line there. So if it does start coming around at if it does drop to $35, that's the line to look at for as potential support, I suppose. But anyway, we'll have a look at I'll go to trade data and I'll have a look at the volume closer up. What have we got here? And that's our highest volume bar on the chart, by the way. And so I'm going to mark that off. And you can see how that's acted as a support resistance. And then when it's broken that was a bit of a bad break there. And so I'll just move it a bit closer here just to our current action. You can see this high volume, ultra high volume up bar coming up. And the danger with buying these ultra high volume up bars is that the professional money shifts stock into huge up moves from the herd. It's the only way they can do it quickly. And they take advantage of buying from the herd to shift stock. And then after that up bar, you get price starts going up, but on very light volume and very narrow spread. And that's telling you, that's telling you to get out of town right there. Because it tells you that they've sold. If that was buying, that was all buying. It couldn't close off the high. So they were selling into it. And then when you see these really low volume up bars, especially that one, even though it's closed higher, what it's telling you is there's no interest. The professional money are not interested in higher prices. So that's your they've done it again there. They've given it another kick up and sold into it there as well. And then it's collapsed from there. But anyway, we can have a look at some what's happened very recently. I might see if we got what sort of trend line we got. We've got, I can have a look at this one, I suppose. Do we get a channel there? Not quite. That's probably not a good one. Maybe. Might connect these two lows and just see what we get. Possibly. Whack a center line in there, that might help us a little bit. But anyway, it's going down anyways. Is the short of it. It's making low, it's still making lower lows. Even this week it's made a it was starting to make a lower low anyway, but it's broken lower again. I'll get away from these high volume bars and zoom in. And as the volume comes in, kicks in on this volume bar here, and that actually shifts the price sideways a bit. So there's some buying coming in there, trying to hold that up, and the price has oscillated around this this area. So that's one area to look at. So here, this down bar with very narrow spread. That's so there is some buying happening at this low here. I mean, there is a lot of selling as well, but it looks like they are trying to hold it up there. So, but it's broken below that line there now, and broken below. Well, it's sitting right on that second line there. I think I'd be looking at that's probably the one you should be looking at there. Anyway, it's broken below there, and these are it's going to need a bit of effort, I think, to get back up in there. But it does look like they've tried to hold it up there. There's got high volume kicking in, but we like to see them price that. That's a potential strength coming in at down bar, but because prices closed lower, that confirms the weakness in the bars. So, but it has shifted it sort of sideways across towards the other end of the channel, and that's but you are still making lower lows. And what you've got here is a no demand bar up in this well, this weak area now. See that narrow spread, lightest volume in 3 bars. That tells you the professional money aren't interested in higher prices. It's gone up, but they aren't interested in higher prices, and then it's gone down. That's up thrust up and come back down. So that's, I would expect it would have to come back down then, and we've got some high volume kicking in here at this low. So I'd suspect it'll try and come back probably to the center line again and test in there, but it's not really looking, these were our promising bars, and they probably still are, or even this really narrow spread down bar there, that's really good. But you probably want to see it get above your 42.73, and at least you want to see it break out of this channel and get above these weak bars up here to start getting really bullish on it again. But at the moment it's going down. You're in a downtrend. It's still making lower lows, still making lower highs so far, and it looks like that will be a lower high there because it's showing weakness there, and I think that'll have to come back down. And there's nothing there that's telling me. So look, you're into new territory now, so it might try and reclaim that, and it probably needs to, but there's nothing telling me there. Now, how far back can I go? There's nothing telling me there that it wants to stop, other than then hopefully it wants to try and regain that ground there. But you're in a downtrend now, and you got the big black hole below you, unfortunately. Let's convert this to the weekly and just see what we can see there. If it gives us any hope. The weekly is not giving us too much hope because our last bullish bar looked like they were just I was on a line there. See that broken blow? It ran that down on really high volume, and then it's closed lower and struggled to get back up there. So that's a weak bar. And then even when they've taken it up, see that it's gone up there really quick. They moved it really quick on volume, but they're selling it. No. You see these real quick up moves on volume, and the temptation is to get right on there, but the danger is they're trying to avoid buying after a bit of accumulating there or holding it up there. They're trying to avoid this buying or the selling in this bar so they can distribute up here, and that's what they've done there, and that's a little bit of a concern. I do see possibly it's a trend line. No, that's probably stretching it too much. No, that's not working. Maybe this won't let me do a parallel line there, so I'll go back here and see if I can get a parallel. Channel there, not really. Well, there is a little bit, I suppose, but we're really stretching the friendship now. And it's still down trending, so yeah, no, it's still looking weak, and particularly I go back to the daily. It's trying to hold support there, but it's we go to the daily. Last couple of days, Thursday and Friday, very weak days. You got a no demand, narrow spread bar, and I'll just get rid of all these lines. It's come down high volume. They bought it and held it up, but it's gone up very light volume. The next bar did go up. I mean, the buying there is not climactic like these really ultra high volume bars over here. But there's enough there to hold it up, but then you got a no demand coming in. Narrow spread, it's an up bar, but it's on very light volume, very narrow spread, and that tells you smart money aren't interested in that up move. They're not participating in this up move, and then it's come down on slightly higher volume and up thrust and down, a hidden up thrust. So I suspect that'll make a lower high there, and then we've got suppose you've got the bottom of the channel there. Hopefully will support. But no, I wouldn't want to be long that stock at the moment until we can start getting some higher highs, and I wouldn't want to be long probably until we can make some higher highs above the close of this down bar here, and probably at least, and we want to get away from this downtrending line here. And yeah, anyway, that's WPL, and that's still, there's nothing to say that downtrend is breaking or potentially may break just yet to the upside.